Welcome back in, everyone, to EA Sports coverage of the NFL. Currently, the Eagles have possession. As we resume the action in quarter number 2.
Back. 120. Record.
Throwing on second down. Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Cowboys and Eagles, of course, such a great rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys got the better of the Eagles both times that they met, with Philly coming off their Super Bowl title. But in weeks 10 and 14, it was Dallas beating Philly by a single possession. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you want one. You'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Finding room at the 30. It's caught. Cooper. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
A gain of 14. And a Cowboy first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch twitch. Watch the twitch.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Looking for Cooper. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the play there. The Cowboys have a first down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
10th carry now for Elliott. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 28.
Let's go.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
50. Let's go. Do you tighten it? Let's go.
On first down, it's Morris. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4, Prescott. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They'll need a big play here, Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Throwing, Prescott. And he's going to go down again. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Oh, it's no good. Marr pushed it right. And this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Hard to believe, but the regular season's starting to draw to a close. We've got the final Sunday night game of the year coming up later tonight. Matt Nagy and the Bears hosting his mentor, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a good one from Frigid Soldier Field. And then tomorrow night, the final Monday night game of the year, Packers and Vikings from Minneapolis. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Wentz to throw. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A 3-yard loss, 4th down now.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Getting ready to go again here, Alfred Morris trots back onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well.
And got his man complete. He got 29 yards that time. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
Over 154, wide. Watch 4-2, 26.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7. Prescott from the gun. That one complete to Elliott. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 36.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, kill.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was the Giants who were able to come away with the road victory.
You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
A 20-point win, 34-14, the final.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Flush to his right. And Cooper able to work his way open. That's complete.
Holding offense.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
46.
Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
47. Check 31. Check 31. Here we go, 47. 26.
To throw again on second down. Prescott. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Prescott. Complete to Jason Witten. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
A first down carry by Elliott. And across the midfield, stripe into Eagle territory. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
53. Check 53.
From just shy of midfield, Prescott. And he slings one that's incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. And it'll bring up third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Prescott to throw it. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 39. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
It'll be real interesting to take a look at this play later, because on this pitch toss play, I get the sense that he just followed the pulling guard or the pulling offensive lineman through that hole and spilled this play early.
Yeah, because he didn't even get to the outer third of the field. He was tackled in the middle third.
Yeah, when you're talking about a pitch or a toss tackled there, that means they read it fast and diagnosed it and knocked him down in a hurry.
This is Morris. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's got Gresham. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Buying time to his left. He's going to take a shot for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Prescott from the gun on third. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now Elliott. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now it's Morris. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It'll be a loss of 1, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. It's kind of an interesting decision. 1-score game, 3rd quarter. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm willing to go out on the limb on this one and go for it. Here's why. If I set it up right now and go get the touchdown, I'm in firm control of this ball game, and my team has a ton of confidence. If I don't get it, hey, I rely on my defense. And if somehow they go downfield on me and score, so be it. I want to be in control and in firm control right now.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the fourth. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, kill. 27. We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. 26.
Now Prescott. 12 yards there and a first down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
Kill. 26.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. Dak Prescott last year against Philly, boy, biggest game of his career passing yardage-wise, 455 yards, 3 touchdowns in a 29-23 December victory over the Eagles. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Side. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. So they are holding down one of the final wild card spots. And with 2 weeks to go, there are others kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And imagine what the talk has been all week within their locker room. And it's really, let's rely on ourselves because they could get help and still get to the playoffs. But who wants that? Go out, win the game, take care of things yourself, and then you don't have anything else to worry about.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Now Wentz. He'll hit Jackson, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Wentz. This is caught by Jackson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Wentz now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. There's the first NFL catch for the former Stanford man, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means after.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Malik Collins coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And Jeffrey's got it. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. Wentz now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Wentz to throw. Completes it to Aguilar. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Anthony Brown. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. To throw is Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now Sproles. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
You're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken.
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Now Wentz. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 25-yard line. So this one will end in a victory for the